Right, so today I want to talk about a little thing, because Avengers is alive. It's still gonna be keep on trucking on, and essentially what I said would be the best case scenario. I don't know if that is the case. I don't know if Disney was like, right, you have a year to fix the game, or you have a year to make this game profitable again. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if we're going to get our big overhaul. But I know that we're going to get new stuff, and we're going to continue to get content for this game, which is great. But here's a big but. I'm noticing a trend with this game, and I'm of a minority, it seems, because it looks like every other content creator that I watch is very pro Echo characters, or they think that Echo characters should be introduced to the game. I'm of the opposite. I think that Jane Foster coming out, I understand it. It, brand synergizing with the movie, and announcing Jane in the same week as the Thor 4 trailer, which is still very difficult to say. But yeah, it's smart, and it's one of the first smart things that this game has actually done, branding and marketing wise. I still think the idea of Kate Bishop as your first DLC character was, a bit dumb. It should have been Hawkeye. 100% should have been Hawkeye. But I feel like, one, if you're going to do Echo characters, don't call them Echo characters, because that's got a very negative connotation to it. Because if you're going to go by Smash Brothers rules, Super Smash Bros. Rules, an Echo character is exactly the same. It's basically a skin. It's basically just putting a skin over a character. It's the same thing. And basically, if you want an Echo character, you basically just can get a skin from the marketplace, and it's a new character. It's the same as putting the US Agent skin on Cap, or putting the Silver Centurion armor on Iron Man, or the Superior Iron Man armor on Iron Man, or literally anything. It's the same. It's the same as putting Hulk in the Maestro skin. There you go. It's basically the same as that. So yeah, I don't like the idea of calling characters Echoes. That it makes me think the wrong thing. We have to see what Jane is like when she comes out, and if Jane is different enough to Thor, if she's different to Thor in the same way that Kate and Clint are different, then cool, that's fine. But the problem that I have with Echo characters is it shows it's basically pressing a pause button on any kind of development of game mechanics, really. And if you keep putting Echo characters in with hero events, then that just pretty much completely halts any originality or any kind of progression of any kind of meta. And also, the game just doesn't have enough characters in it to justify having Echo characters yet. It doesn't justify putting a character in that's very similar to someone else. And if they're doing that with the first two DLCs, putting two characters in that are very similar, if you're going to have an Echo to someone else, then introduce them at the same time, have them be linked in some way, and also make that character still play different, because if not, you might as well just make that character a skin, like you did with US Agent, like you did with Maestro. Don't make them an alternate character, because then it feels like a waste of building up that character. Maybe I have a different internal thing on what I think an Echo character is. Maybe I'm just, linking it to a game that's completely different, or to what my conception or preconception of what an Echo character is. And if what Crystal Dynamics means by Echo character is what they did with Kate and Clint, that's fine. I'm completely okay with that. If Jane comes out and she's just Thor but 100 times better, or, at least 50% better, then, I will be then happy days. I would prefer it to be someone else, but brand synergy and everything, Jane Foster makes sense. An easy enough character because you have the animations for Lightning already. But yeah, it just makes sense. The big reason for me personally why I don't want to see Echo characters yet, or why I don't want to see, for what the game may mean by Echo characters, I don't necessarily want to see those legacy characters, or characters that are very similar to characters that we already have. So, like, we've got Black Widow. I don't want to see Yelena yet. Ideally, I wouldn't have wanted to see Jane Foster yet, but now that we have Jane Foster, I don't want to see, a reveal for Beta Ray Bill. I don't want to see a reveal for Thunderstrike. A Thunderstrike skin, a Beta Ray Bill skin, those would be cool. I mean, you kind of have to make Beta Ray Bill a different character, because he's got a different hammer, and he's a horseman. I mean, you've got Catwolf, but Catwolf is still Steve Rogers. Beta Ray Bill is a completely different character, and they have, like, a different fighting style. I think you can do some interesting things with having those two characters interact. But I don't want that to happen yet. I feel like that is the options that you go down when you already have a solid base of 20 or so characters that all feel and play differently, and already you will have, like, a quarter of your roster that feels and plays very similar. And, with characters like Winter Soldier coming in, he's probably going to feel similar to Black Widow. She-Hulk is going to feel at a base level similar to Hulk in some way. But I don't want to see, we've got Hulk in the game. I don't want to see Red Hulk as a playable character. I don't want to see him as a different playable character yet. I would like to see him as a different playable character as opposed to a skin, because his power set is different, and, he utilizes fire and shit, but I don't want to see him anytime soon. I don't want, that idea of the Echo character to be something that is explored so soon, and I want that core Avengers team. And when I say core Avengers team, we still don't have a Giant Man / Ant-Man. We still don't have a Wasp. We still don't have a Scarlet Witch, a Quicksilver. We still don't have, like, a Wonder Man. Wonder Man is pretty integral to the Avengers. Vision, Falcon, Winter Soldier, War Machine. War Machine doesn't count as an Echo. Winter Soldier doesn't really count as an Echo character. I don't count those characters because they are, different character model. A Yelena would be very similar to Black Widow. War Machine, I don't think, would be similar to Iron Man in any way, because I feel like his combat would be a lot more tanky, a lot more sluggish, a lot more, sluggish in a good way. He would feel like he would have a lot more power behind his hits, and his animations. You could do some really crazy stuff with him. I feel like you could do some crazy stuff with any character, because just embrace what you did with Hawkeye. You did really crazy shit with Hawkeye. You made it make sense as to why he can keep up with everyone else on the Avengers. So do that with every character. Make every character like fucking badass, OP. Fucking let us live out that superhero fantasy, even when we're playing as a character like Winter Soldier, like Spider-Man, like Black Panther, like Hawkeye, like Kate Bishop. I ragged on Kate Bishop for a while. I think that this game did a really good job with her, and I just think it's way too early in the game's life cycle and with where we are with the roster for us to start getting Echo characters. So like, they bring out Giant Man, or they bring out Ant-Man / Giant Man, or they bring out Scott Lang. They bring out Scott Lang. I don't want the next character afterwards to be Goliath. And say they bring out, fucking who's a character that they could bring out that has a very similar counterpart. Wolverine, and then the next character that they bring out is X-23. I would say personally, if I were to bring in Wolverine in any way, I would bring him out in a expansion. This is another thing I want to talk about. I'm gonna break this video in half, or like 3/4 and a quarter, because I don't want to talk too long on this. But I think the way that the game should handle expansions in the future should be completely different. So like Captain Marvel, I think you should pack in a few more characters with that. I think you can probably pack in Marvel. So expansions should be more than one character and should feel like a true expansion of not just the story but game mechanics as well. And those characters that come in, maybe you could have a couple that feel like the rest of the roster, that feel on par with the rest of the roster, and then you can have that one expansion character that is meant to be like up there pretty high on the meta, because that's what really crushed me about Black Panther. This is an expansion, and Black Panther didn't feel that much better than any other character. In fact, he was middle tier for pretty much everything. He just brought in some new game mechanics. You can't just have a character bring in new game mechanics just for the expansion and call it a day. I feel like more than one character, like if you want to do Captain Marvel, fucking do Starjammers, do Alpha Flight, even bring in fucking Sasquatch, bring in who's the fucking Canadian Guardian, not Guardian, what's his fucking name, Captain Canada, the Canadian Captain America that's got the powers of Captain Britain, or is it Omega Flight? Omega Flight's the one that's, the current one that's got like Puck, Sasquatch, Captain Marvel. Or if you want to do that, bring in Star. Who remembers Star, the character has the powers of the Power Stone. So she's basically got all these powers. She's kind of evil, she was on the Thunderbolts, so there, and that she's on the Thunderbolts that was led by Taskmaster, that was funded by Kingpin. So there's relation to a character that's already in the game, and she also has a relation to Captain Marvel as well. So, I mean, it's difficult to think of characters to put in with Captain Marvel. I mean, you could go really, like, insulary Kree with it, and go, probably, Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Genisville, and Rick Jones. Fucking slap Rick Jones in here. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Is Marvel's Avengers going to tackle Rick Jones? Because, and then, I mean, I kind of have other expansions in mind, like an Ant-Man expansion, like into the quantum realm, and have, like, I know I made the point of don't slap Ant-Man and then put Goliath in after, but if you do an expansion, Scott Lang, Janet Pym, Nadia Van Dyne, and Goliath. There you go. There's the 4 characters that you put in. I don't know why I stuck with 4. Probably because I also have another idea of an expansion, which is the fucking Fantastic Four. I mean, that's the one that's just screaming at me, and that's why I think 4 characters, because it's not too much. You can work for basically the whole year on these 4 characters and slapping a raid along with it. So, like, Fantastic Four, and then either Latveria raid or friggin' Negative Zone raid. Quantum Realm can be slapped with the Ant-Man characters, and then Kree Starship fighting Ronan at the end with Captain Marvel and her Marvel. You could call that expansion "Make Mine Marvel." Oh, fucking hell. My brain is just fucking all over the place today. So yeah, we could do that. If you like this video, that's kind of where I am going to leave it. I don't want to see Echo characters, but if you do Echo characters, slap them in an expansion with other characters, with the character that they're going to be an echo of. So, like, if you're going to have Captain Marvel and a bunch of Captain Marvel echoes, put them all in the same expansion. Genisville, Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Star. Put them all in the same thing. If you have those really obscure characters that you want to put in the game and you want to make your own, slap them in an expansion with a character that's really good. Because, like, Ant-Man, people gonna want Ant-Man. People really gonna want Ant-Man. But Goliath, Nadia Van Dyne, Janet Van Dyne, fucking Wasp, 2 versions of Wasp, and Goliath. Who cares about those characters? Slap them in with Ant-Man. You've got the Quantum Pack, and then there you go. You've got the Into the Quantum Realm expansion, and people are going to be hyped for that, because who wouldn't be? And you got a sick ass story, Yellow Jacket boss fight, Ghost boss fight, because like Ghost is an Ant-Man character now, and possibly Grizzly, because I remember that one comic where Ant-Man teamed up with Grizzly, and instead of Grizzly being kind of this lovable guy in a bearskin costume, you could make him a boss, and make him kind of a joke villain, and kind of like the guy that you fight a million times, like Taskmaster. It's like, it's the weird thing. The one appearance of Grizzly that I know of is in X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse, and he's just a big red guy in that. But in the Ant-Man miniseries that I know of Grizzly in, and also in the Marvel Encyclopedia that I have, The read up on Grizzly in that it just says, just basically says he's a guy that's a retired wrestler that, I don't know if I'm mixing him up with Armadillo. I might be mixing him up with Armadillo, but like, he's a guy who was a retired boxer who fell on hard times, that dressed up in a bear costume and started robbing banks. I think the Armadillo might be the same thing, but the Armadillo also joined the Avengers at one point, which is really weird. And he's like mates with Captain America. And it's just like this guy with a shield and this guy who's got a big shell in his back are mates. I find that kind of funny. Because like, he'd basically be fully protected if Captain America just gave him a shield. And it's like he's just got this glaring weak spot, which is his stomach. It's just... I want that. I want that comic. I want that comic. The team up of Captain America and Armadillo. Can that be an episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier Season 2? Can we get the Armadillo in the MCU, please? Do it. I know this has become a massive tangent, and this video is way longer than it has any right to be, but the main points are, I don't want to see Echoes, but if you do Echoes, put them in an expansion, and expansion should be at least 4 characters, and probably 4 characters is a sweet spot, and basically I just want Fantastic Four. Give us Fantastic Four. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this one, let me know. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Put something in the comments below, whatever you want. Let me know if you have a dream 4 characters that you want to be put in an expansion. Fucking Doctor Strange, Clea, Wong, and America Chavez. Wong and someone else. I can't think of a 4th magic user to put in. Like Damon Hellstrom? I mean, the fucking, I mean, if, say, magically, Spider-Man gets put on every console, you know, do a Spider-Man insulary, kind of, like, expansion, which gives us more Spider-Man story, and, like, makes the Spider-Man story actually canon, and put in 4 other different types of Spider-Man, 4 other different Spider-Man characters, like Spider-Gwen, Miles, maybe Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, and possibly Spider-Man Noir. Now, Spider-Man Noir is already a skin, but 2099 isn't a skin, so that might mean that they have plans to do something with Spider-Man 2099 at some point. I don't know. And maybe Venom. Just throw in Venom as a playable character because so many people want him. So yeah, I think that would be cool. Just do that. Wolverine, X-23, Honey Badger, and freaking Deadpool. There you go. There's your 4. I could go on all day, but yeah, give me your dream 4 that you want in the game. I will see you guys in the next video. Base.